Aside from Mario, Link is arguably the biggest Nintendo mascot there is. He's the chosen one of Hyrule, and in his quest, he'll bump into some scary creatures, and regardless of their size, the nightmare count is big. Here, I'm picking at the characters that make me more scared than anything Ganondorf can do with the Triforce of Power. And yes, they are even more frightening than the possessed princess and a few of Link's faces in the darker games. Light up a lantern, since you might want to burn these guys to the sacred ground for your safety. Hey, I'm Owen, the fiction fanboy, and here are the top 5 creepiest Legend of Zelda characters. The Moon. Yep, I'm starting this list off with an inhabitant that's more of a something than a creature with flesh. The moon in Majora's Mask is nothing like the one we usually see in the sky at night. Link has only 3 days to save Termina, or Skull Kid will have the moon come crashing down and turn the land into nothing. And upon seeing that the moon has a scary face, I realized it may be related to the angry sun from Super Mario Bros. 3. Well, at least that can be stopped with the Koopa shell, but the moon is basically invincible, thus it can't be destroyed. Failing the main objective will result in one of the biggest game over screens in the history of gaming, so you better use your time traveling abilities wisely. And don't get me started on the adventure mode Termina map in Hyrule Warriors, with the moon being the whole gimmick. Oh boy. Silent Realm Guardians. Ah, the Silent Realm. It's so peaceful, and nothing can go wrong with our mission in collecting the tears needed to find the flames for the Master Sword. That is, until the very moment you walk out of the protective circle and awaken the Guardians of the Realm. They wield swords that are practically as long as Link is. Once you hear the theme, you better run like heck and grab the nearest tear for 90 seconds of chillaxing. There's more to worry about, as you have the ghostly Watchers with spotlights and the Waking Water. Guess what touching that does? They are easily the deadliest enemies in Skyward Sword. Don't believe me? The Thunder Dragon mentions that when replaying the Silent Realms for a speed record, getting hit by a Guardian once will make you lose several hearts. Whether you have started, gotten close to finishing, or somewhere in the middle, you are almost never safe from those soldiers. BLizzetta. Is anyone else feeling chilly? Because the sweet Yetta here can make anyone's heart warm. Only problem, for the time being anyway, is that she's ill, and even the soup made by her husband, Yetto, had very little effect on the sickness, yet it's useful to restore our health. And it would appear having the Weekend Yeti guide us to the shard of the Twilight Mirror wasn't such a great idea, because it took over the poor lass, and combining that with the stormy winter weather has transformed her into an icy giant, and it starts off as some kind of tiki head, except it's made out of ice instead of wood, and let's not forget that later some ice spikes form, because those are just as deadly as regular spikes. I feel pretty bad that I have to beat her up with my ball and chain. Then again, we are really striving towards harming the Shadow, since that's the real menace. Dead Hand. The Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time is fairly scary. I merely had a tough time choosing between the various ominous hands. I could have placed the Wall Master, though the reason it ain't here is because the A Link Between Worlds design toned down the goosebumps. Anyway, if you see floating hands from the ground, it's better you don't make contact with any of them, or the guy who owns them will show up. He'll try to kill you with his head, and regardless of his pace, his face surely will cause a panic, especially when he opens his mouth. I should also mention that his hands will regenerate if you don't kill him fast enough. And hold on a second, is that blood all over his body? Yeesh, it seriously must hurt having to dig with the puny hands that are actually attached to you. Even if they kind of look more like octopus tentacles. Wait, gotta skedaddle. Cubist sisters. Those innocent-looking girls veritably want to beat you in Dead Man's Volley. Wizrow. That sorcerer monstrosity serves Sia. Happy Masked Salesman. He's grinning with merch around him, but for the wrong reasons. Girahim. The Demon Lord has a taste for blades, let alone being one. Redead. We all know what kind of apocalypse we must be prepared for in case it were to happen in real life, right? Yep, it's the zombie apocalypse, and we slightly have one at the market where Ganondorf has taken over Hyrule in the future. They mostly stay in one place, and that's a huge relief, unless they see you and feast on your brain through petrification. Wiggle out of your immobility quickly and swiftly end their life. I would also like to point out that in order to avoid such a rotten fate, you can wear one of 3 masks in Majora's Mask to make them dance until they're dead. How do they become more haunting? Take a look at the species in Wind Waker, and despite their appearance, the duration it takes for them to deplenish your health is sluggish. Yet they once again make their presence in Triforce Heroes and have a powerful freezing scream. These fellows do so little, but so much at the same time, and that's why they have the honor of being the most feared characters in the Legend of Zelda series. The haunts are far from over. Please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications for more sweet treats. Also, comment below and follow me on Instagram for petrifying teasers and thumbnail previews of impending YouTube videos. They ain't sour tricks. Hasta la vista, and best of luck sleeping tonight-o!